Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Look, Michael Carrick's a championship manager, isn't he? He's a championship manager. He's never managed in the Premier League except for 3 games with United when he was the last interim manager. If you're scared of Man United right now, take away the fact it's a derby, then what are you scared of, really? It's Michael Carrick.
Welcome everyone. Welcome one and all. And welcome to All In, All United. And
podcast with everybody smiling, boy. My word. My word.
oh yeah. So here it is, right? So Carrick had 3 days on the training pitch to prepare the team for City, right? And this man managed, This man managed to get the best performance from this team over a full 90 minutes in 14 months, right? Now, I dare anybody to prove me wrong that this has been our best full 90-minute performance in over 14 months.
No.
Right? Now, this is not me getting carried away with a winner. But what I saw today, fellas, was attacking fluidity, right? I saw good and lengthy spells of progressive possession. I saw control. Even sometimes when we didn't have the ball, we controlled the game. I saw defensive discipline earlier, right? I saw tactical discipline. We remain compact in the areas where we knew City were very, very strong. All right? I saw very good substitutions at good times. And I want to hear something shocking, right? We didn't need 3 centre-backs to keep a clean sheet, right? Further, any other notice that after we scored the first goal, we kept playing and we kept attacking? This is Manchester United, my brothers. This is Manchester United, right? Manchester is red. And even though I went blue for a reason because I wanted the badge to show. But Manchester is red. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, what we saying, fellas, welcome. My question, but before, my question is this, and in your opening thoughts, I want to be honest. Who thought we was gonna get beat up? Who thought, right, that we was gonna get beat up today? Right? Go through.
Chef, are you hand up? So I guess you could go. Good night.
No, the man asked a question. I pop my hand.
Well, a hand up could be more than one thing. Yeah?
No. My hand was just to answer the man question. Everybody, I'll wait my turn now.
Yeah. So good night again, guys. Right. Today was definitely a feeling that I haven't had for a very long time, to be honest. I've been honest. I getting carried away today. I really getting carried away, but I only getting carried away for today. Right? I'm not going to get carried away for when Arsenal reach and then when Crystal Palace or Bournemouth, come down Old Trafford and how we all over the place. I ain't carried away for that. I ain't carried away for it. And I think the performance today, as Reem say, I felt alive looking at the game today. A lot of the times we have looked at United and we would have rather not be looking at United. But because you know, we so enshrined. You know, it's like a magnet of steel, you know, and we dine in it. But today I felt like I was living in it today, you know. And you know, the madam was there, and every time, you know, there was a, you know, even our offside goal is a clap, is a ball, is a scream, is a ball hit the post, and it's like, what is all that going on in this game in so short space of time? You know. So I felt alive looking at United today, you know, and I guess that would be my opening remarks.
Excellent. Phil?
Yeah, good night. On the last part I mentioned that I haven't cheered for United goal in a while. And today at 7:30 in the morning,
Phil, I don't know if it's me alone, but I think your audio sounded
Nah,
real.
it's not you alone.
what
Now
about
we
now?
hear you.
Much
What about
better.
now?
Much better.
Sorry. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I said I had not cheered for United goal in a while, and this morning at 7:30 in the morning, the neighbors knew I was watching football. Right? It was so much coming into this fixture versus Manchester City. New manager bunks, Pep Guardiola not knowing how Michael Carrick is going to set up, Ryan Cherky, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt. Everybody has something to say about certain players, about Manchester United, and then certain managers. Sorry, where was I going? They had to say things about Michael Carrick as a new manager and Johnny Evans as assistant manager. They had to talk about Lisandro Martinez being too small for the Premier League again, how Haaland is going to pick him up and carry him to the goal and all this BS. And then lo and behold, today's score could have been around 7, at least 7, yeah. Casemiro had a chance. Ahmad's offside goal. Ahmad was also through on goal in the second half and hit the post. Bruno's offside goal.
Maguire miss.
Maguire missing the from 3 inches out.
Dallo.
Mason Mount also scoring in the dying minutes. Today could have been at least a good 6-7-0, right? And it's a performance that, I'll be honest, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised because we know what these guys are capable of doing. But then also, when it comes to Manchester United over the years, they always want to give this first game manager impression. They always want to put on a performance at Old Trafford when it comes to the Manchester Derby. Will they get carried away tonight? At some moments, I'll get carried away, but then, you know, reality will hit me easily when some of you guys start speaking, obviously. And I know this already, right? But as of right now, Manchester is red. And it's a performance that we'll have on repeat for the next few days because we ain't got nothing else to watch. We ain't got nothing else to look forward to. Liverpool drop points. Arsenal drop points. So, yeah, I guess later on in the pod, we'll talk about the starting lineup. I was quite surprised by Brian Mbeumo up top by himself, but that was kind of a master stroke. That was kind of a master class by Michael Carrick, but I guess we'll talk about that later. So,
yeah. So, man, I want you to come in after, but just to comment on something that Phil said, this is really one of the games that you could watch over and watch over and watch over, you know. Anyway, Simeon, the fellow who's kind of keep we grounded on the pod now, you know.
Nah.
You getting carried away today?
Nah, I had to put a shirt on to remind me the kind of misery that fellas just put me in. This is my it's kind of bright. It's like my safety shirt. You know, keep me in check. You know, that way I don't get carried away. You know, remember the days. You know, I mean, this game was, you know, I remember last time I was on, I talked to Phil was talking about how watching these games, how he does, multitask. And I was doing that this morning. I was cooking my breakfast, I was cleaning up, I was doing all kind of thing. And then I turn around and I say, wait now, then fellas actually playing. And by halftime, I in front of the screen screaming. I was, it's been a while since you've seen the kind of, fluidity and just joy and just, their fellas was attacking. Like, it wasn't like it looked like their fellas actually trained this week. It looked like their fellas actually trained. I was trying with Amarim, he looked like I don't think he's an idiot, but then for us look like they actually trained this week. Like they get up in the morning, they eat some breakfast, some good food, they went to the gym, they work out, and they come and they get instruction. It looked like they trained to do something today. And they did it, and it was great to see. Even Bruno, you saw Bruno in his element today. I mean, he do some dumb stuff that is Bruno stuff, but he puts him in his place, where he, aces in their places, as they say. And he was dialing it up, out there, them passes. I mean, the team just looked like a professional football team, Yeah, and I ain't getting carried away. I know this is the kind of game that we love to play. We've had good performances with multiple managers against City. We win a FA Cup. We beat this team. We beat City before playing this kind of football. But today it just seemed like that for us was free to play football. I feel like Carrick set them up to be successful, and they believed in his system. And it really showed, and it was great. It was refreshing to watch. We ain't getting carried away, but still, it was great. And we didn't just win the game; we beat them. It was no question about which, who's the better team, better chances. Ain't no fluke thing. We, almost all the bucks we tick, today. So, good job, guys. Let's see what's next.
Yeah. Well,
I must say one thing. Today's man of the match, and you guys can fight me on this here. Today's man of the match had to be Donnarumma. Had to be Donnarumma. If you watch over the highlights, Donnarumma is the reason that he kept them from being like 4 and 5 goals down. But anyway, that's just my take.
Yeah. Chef, what are you saying, buddy?
There's a fella that's do food reviews on TikTok, right? So every time he tastes something real good, he just take off his glasses and pelt it.
The Stallion. We name he name begin with J. Can't remember.
Right. That's the guy.
Yeah.
I think he says method man want to be brother. All right. I ain't gonna pelt my glasses because I ain't have money like that. But Reem started off the pod by saying something that I disagree with. He said that this was Manchester. He dare anybody to tell him if Manchester gave a better performance in the last 14 months, he said, bro? 14 months? I don't agree with that, Bro, I dare anybody to give us the last time Manchester do that is years, though. Is years. Plus, we didn't play good in spurts today, And we put down deep. This is not no exaggeration. And you know me, I's negative Nancy. But so we put down the best 19 minutes I have seen from a Manchester United team. Plus, I don't even know when.
Where was the last time we had 2 good halves, Chef?
And I tell you, of course, I don't even know when. I don't even know. Phil is years. We
just come on this podcast and talk about that first half was real good. but the man shut down in the second half, and vice versa. And look at the day. Anyway,
I was
and here's the
waiting.
thing,
I was waiting.
here's the thing, you're watching the game, as all you say, you're watching the game, and you're just waiting for the shit to start. You're just waiting for the shit to start. And every time the shit starts, it happened to be Dallo on the ball. But when if he not on the ball, we good. Then I can't say nothing. No. I heard a stat. I didn't tell it was extremely. God alone knows how I managed to able to watch this game today because my day was extremely long and busy. But I heard a stat that we only had 35% of the ball. That was real. Because that near line to tell you, it didn't feel so, you know. So I could be stand correct. It didn't feel like that. It feel like if we control this game. How much shots on goal Haaland had? Did he have any?
No, he didn't. He didn't. The only shot I think he had is what Martinez blocked.
So right. Outside of that, nothing, right? Dan, I'm not lying to tell you, boy, the concentration that I had to take my hat off to we defense, boy, because God, them have a way of effing up things. But today, boy, them fellas was not about that. And there's a real dislook show, eh? Because of God, but Jared, you know what, for me, what was the most, I just watch little things. Dan, you see the defensive covers was unbelievable today, though. I watched especially when that ball went out to them wingers, Dogu and Semenyo. You see this boy called Kobe Mino? He need a standing ovation today because you need a player, much like Michael Carrick, who will just do the little things. And you know, when you just know how them little things big, when the player not there. The little things. Every single time that ball went on a wing, the first person was backing up the defender was Kobe Mino. You just was not, I'm telling you, it was just, that was a good performance, though. That was not his not good performance.
Apparently, Kobe Minu is playing the same position as Bruno Fernandes, so it'll be hard for him to get play. It'll be hard for him.
Apparently so.
Apparently so. Anyway,
just to end the talk, because everybody had to talk, I honestly feel Carrick gave them fellas a memo, especially the wing defenders, and tell them, if all your back pass, I will pull all you off. I had to believe that, though, because I see dog who do something today. Well, I ball. 3 defenders are wrong him. And the safe thing is the back pass. The man stand up, watch them 3 City players and dribble out of it and make a forward pass. So like ball, you know. I said, no. Them fellas get a memo. Then the passing was so anti-defensive today. That's the only word I could find too. Every single move was attacking. So this is all we asking for. And last but not least was men, because this will be film motto. Men play for that badge today, though. Men play like they understand is Manchester United you're playing for today. Because we know we ain't had the best players per se. But dog, the least we're asking for, just give it your all now, boy. That is all. I can't stand Gary Neville. Boy, Gary Neville, like he was in tears today. Because, dog, that is all you're asking for, dog. Just give it your all. That is all.
Yeah, well said. Kriston, what's up?
Good night, fellas. I know I'm getting carried away. I mean, it's 10 plus years we experience in this, but it was a very good performance. I mean, we might do the same thing against Arsenal, but I want to see us against a smaller team. because we tend to be better. I feel like them players, when they play in the big side, they just play for the badge. You see, against the small side on them is when they can't break down and things. I want to see that against them, but it was a brilliant performance today. And as Chef say, he don't like to hear Gary Neville. I don't like to hear none of them United legends. But before this game today, Nicky Butter and Paul Scholes had a pod, and they were saying Martinez shouldn't start. Haaland go pick him up and run with him. And Martinez had such a good game today. When you listen to them fellas talk about our players, I see them trash Sesko and thing. And when you look in the league, Gaya Carrez had 8 shots in like 7 games and thing. You go hear nobody saying anything. Like they just bring down our team so much. I don't even want to hear them and thing anymore, boy.
Yeah. So I just want to get some comments. Let me get the open thoughts from the comment section, and then we go move on, right, guys? So Arun on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining on the fire emoji. All right. So we have Kishore Basdi on the inside. All right. He was getting Jones on the intro video. Well, not the intro video, but the video after the intro. All right. And we go play it again just for fun, right? He said Carrick was on a call with Ollie last 3 days. Ollie know that. I ain't like how we ain't getting Carrick the credit he deserve, man. All right. It's Lynch on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying great way to start the day. Watch now. Great way to start the weekend. We are accustomed getting the weekend spoil early o'clock, and they love to play in the earlies. All right. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast. Let me get more people in on the content, and let me get the likes up to push the content out. You know the algorithm does work, right? Kerwin Assam on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying I could comment tonight because I was literally in tears of joy this morning. And I was on a fet watching it. What commitment, boy?
Experience, boy.
Yeah. Peter on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Lynch is saying here, I wasn't expecting a proper beating, but United has a way of showing up against the bigger clubs. Small clubs tend to pose problems for us on the low block to break down. All right. Kevin saying here, this was, Man United, not that ish I was seeing for the last few months, if not years. All right. Peter saying here, people would say that this was a one-off performance. However, this is a title-chasing, well-drilled City team. Man United players looked as though they enjoyed their football. It was instinctive, entertaining, and looked familiar to the good old days. I am not going to say we turn the corner, but I'm just cautiously optimistic about this very decisive performance. All right. When she's saying here, we just enjoying the moment, right, Phil? Eric on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night. He's saying training session, they said, not today. Manchester is ready. All right. Lion on the inside. Remember out we. When she's saying here, United was first to all second balls. They won the first and second duels. They wanted it more than City today by far. All right. Travis on the inside, thanks for joining, man.
Oh, Travis.
And he's telling I agree with you because Lion was advocating for Amorim. Right? So Lion stayed in our man.
Oh,
all right. Dr. J, thanks for joining. Saying good result. Our best performance against a top team in a while. City were rubbish. All right. I still I want to see how we do when we come up versus the teams that give us possession. And we have to break them down and protect the space behind us if they break it. That's correct. All right. Our Lion saying here, I back all managers with the hope that they will do well for United. All right. We've won this type of games before, but today we should have been about 6-0. Them get away. All right. Phil, we don't care about he. Right. I don't know who are you talking about.
You mean the Lissandro Martis comments or somebody else?
Yeah, I think you'll probably clear it up first, right? Jerome on the inside, thanks for joining, man. All right, so I think we read this already, right? Alan on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying I'm glad for the win, but I'm keeping in the back of my mind the Manchester United cycle of firing a manager, getting an interim, who the players will play good for at least 5 to 6 games, then they will play like the donkey for the remainder of the season, right? 62% in the end. So that's how much possession we had, Chef.
Thanks,
All right?
sir.
Lion saying here we need to be consistent. That's what I'm looking for. One game at a time. Yeah. Jerome saying here, can we control a game without possession, which can control? Yeah, so you could control a game without possession, and we did that, right?
Yeah.
Need to see how we handle the teams that come and sit deep and give us the ball. Want to play Brighton again? Actually, Brighton don't give us the ball. Brighton is a playing team.
Yeah.
So probably talking about a different team, right? City had one shot on target, the header that Lamine saved. All right, yeah. Jerome saying here, sure it was Kobe or Ahmad. Ahmad real defend and help out Dalot today versus Doku.
It was Kobe.
All right, and we have Phil here and in the comments, right? He's calling for Cave, right? And Cave's supposed to be here today, Phil. All right, Jerome saying here, Kobe did well in the middle. This game suits him and Cass. Right, off the ball, we really had to run back and cover large spaces. And we transition well and quick, and we kill them there. All right, Scholes and Butt need to apologize to Martinez, by the way. Yeah, of course.
They never will.
Yeah, they won't do that. Dwayne Allen on the inside, good night to you. Thanks for joining. Saying great game today. I will always say Bruno is a 10. The whole team played well, except Dalot. Right? Kurt on the inside, good night to you, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. Alliance in here, always not a coach. Carrick and McKenna will respond. Mylon, good night. Thanks for joining. J Buzz, this is Jordan. How you going, man? All the way from the UK. Right? He's saying Carrick ball full effect. Good night. Bring on the Gunners. Amram should get arrested for not letting Kobe free. All right, dog look promising. Yeah, that Nico boy. All right, Kid on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. Good result, good performance. Would like to see Meno kick on with more minutes and good performances like today. All right. Lion say he was talking about Donnarumma, Phil. All right. Good saying here, glad for the win. A breath of fresh air. It was expressive. And Eric Lewis, Dalot out, Maswari in. All right. So fellas, for months on end, we were talking about, and I want to start, Kristen, I want to start with you on this one, right? For months on end, we were talking about, the players and the system and adapting, and that kind of thing. And this was the comments that Carrick made before the game, right? He said, we have been too focused on what the players can't do, right? We want to focus on what the players can do and maximize the strengths, right? So I just want to get your thoughts on, Carrick's approach to the team, and this is how he would be, if this is how he would be going forward. I just want to get your general thoughts on how, because obviously the previous manager, he was more focused on the players adapting to him and his system. And now we've seen a manager who's coming in and saying, well, we've been, and one of the things that stood out was the fact that the players were not suited for his system, which would mean that we were focusing on what they couldn't do and we were trying to improve that. But he is saying now he wants to focus on what they can do and maximize his strengths. And I've always been asking Amram to do, adapt. Thoughts?
No, well, I mean, Carrick if you look back, he been with Sir Alex Ferguson. He was under Bangal. He was under a coach under Mourinho. He was under Ole. And I think after he left, so more likely he knew most of these players. He played with some of them and stuff like that. So he know what most of them could do and stuff like that. But in terms of Amarim came to the job to do something else, because when you look at it, they hire Amarim based on what he did at Sporting and his style of football, right? I mean, the club didn't wanted most of the players on the big contracts, and they wanted them out. They wanted, like, when you look at it, when Amarim now come, Casemiro wasn't even getting a game, I think, because he was one of them players on a big contract the club wanted out. He only started to get a game when men get injured, and then when he come back into the team, he had good performance, and then he ended up becoming an Amarim favorite. But as I say, they brought Amarin to change the culture and to play his style of football and thing. So you can't expect him to use players that can't play his football now, boy, because when you look back, plenty of these players here more than 5 years. So I think when they brought he in was to play a new system and to get rid of toxic players, get rid of players that are here for long, and to start a new era. Well, that is what, in my mind, I thought he was brought in for. Because when you look at it, his style of football is not what United play. He play a more defensive kind of football and a different type of formation and everything. Nobody really play that in the Prem and thing. So when you think about it, you thought, well, okay, they're trying something new. They're going after a new era, but that was just my thought on it. But as I say, Carrick, he know the players and he know the ability, so he playing to suit them.
All right, Nico, I want to bring you in. Just your thoughts on Carrick position, and you could also factor in Christian point.
Yeah. So it had two sides to this, right? So Amarin would have adapted to Casemiro, right? We knew that in the earlies he wanted to play Casemiro in a certain way, and then we'd have realized that, hey, Casemiro can't play this way, and he adapted Casemiro to play how he wanted him to play, right? So he did that for Casemiro, but there were other quality players, and I want to, really chime in on Meno, that won't given the opportunity, right? There were other quality players with quality. Xerxes, right? We know Xerxes has quality that were not given that opportunity. So as much as we might say that, and Carrick is right, we were too focused on what players couldn't do, but it was only for the players that Amarin, wanted to do it with, right? Because if he really wanted the others to fit, he could have adapted, right? And then to Christian's point, in terms of he didn't have the players to fit his system, then at the end of the day, if it's a project, you're not going to get 15 players like City could do. So in the meantime, you have to adapt to the strengths of the players you have until you could get the players that you want, right? And then you needed to be strategic as well. So going for players that's nice to have in terms of players you need, right? I think that is where Amarin would have faltered as well, because I was always saying on this podcast here, we playing Bruno Fernandes in that deep line position is wasting Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes quality. So again, you decide to adapt with Bruno Fernandes, taking away 10 to 15 to 20 goals from the team to adapt to wherever you think could work, right? But we see today where Carrick would have, because again, he would have said he's a season ticket holder. The whole family is Manchester United fanatics, right? They want to see the team do well. And he would have been saying where, all right, Kobe can't do that, but he could do this. And this is what I need for him to do, right? For the team to play well. And I look at Kobe today, and all the issues we were having with Kobe, unable to cover space and unable to track, unable to tackle, and I didn't see that today. So I guess Carrick is right in terms of maybe we focus too much on what the players couldn't do, but there were biases in that from Amarin.
Yeah. And remember Simeon, so with all that being said, so are the players the problem? Because we were here and we were blaming players and we were saying, you had people saying Amarim need a new team, he needed players to play a system. So, with everything that's on the table, the comments on the screen, Christian point, Nico point, are the players the problem as well? Go ahead.
Nah, you get this is the hard question. I mean, it's I think the best answer is it's complicated. I mean, because not all teams are gonna let your players play how they want to. You know, not all teams are gonna like Pep is so comfortable in how he plays and what he wanted to do that he will play it and hope his team beat you. You know, most coaches will see Bruno running and Bruno and say, you know what, we can't open it up. You know, and it gets to a point to where can your team, does your team have the patience to break down a low block? So I think, we as a team, you can't just rely on players playing, to what they love, and what they, at some point, you need, a system that can work, consistently in all situations. I think the team today was like, school kids when it's recess, or lunchtime or PE, and somebody threw a ball on the field and kids run out and they're excited and stuff. I think this team, was free today. But to say that, with players not a problem, I mean, the type of crap these players play, it can be just due to, system. I know how it may affect it, but it can't just be a system. I think everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, but I think a coach like Carrick can clearly, can maximize players, abilities and stuff, but he can't, when you run into a coach, it's my issue with United. When you run into a coach that see you play this way and can sit down for a week and prepare for you next week and make players do what they want to do next week, where we get the same kind of performance and zeal and concentration, when they don't let Bruno and fellas run, run up and on the field like they did today, so it's too early, it's clear today we have quality players, clearly Bruno is really sure himself today. But what is Bruno going to do when he got to be more patient, when, the ball, when he got a low block, So I think it's complicated. We have good players, it's clear. But can they play in all the ways, that you need to win consistently in this league? That's my point.
Yeah. Chef Phil, I don't know if you all want to jump in on this point, the comment from Carrick and the points that you guys put on the floor.
No, you can go, Chef. I was just gonna repeat the whole Kobe Manu gotta only get played when Bruno is not in, and anyway, you go, Chef.
I hear everybody, and I hear what Carrick is saying, because I'm gonna say, start working and say you have a bunch of shut-ups. I honestly still believe that we have real shitty players. But something we've been saying on every podcast is, we know we need a better squad. But is the squad that bad, boy? That is the question. And
that is the question. Yeah.
And we keep on debating it. And generally, we just say, we know we have some real suicide bombers on the team. But Dan, you telling me we can't, boy, I don't even want to talk about you.
Don't make the night bad, Nico.
All the good play break down by here, anyway.
Over, that boy shitty boy, Jesus Christ. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. So Boy, that's a real conundrum in truth. If we really big dog, you telling me this same team. I accept that Mbeumo and Ahmad wasn't there. But dog, well, they couldn't beat a 10-man Everton, Leeds, Burnley,
Grimsby.
Wolves. Dog,
Grimsby.
I don't know, boy. I don't know. Before I pass it over to Phil, I just wanted to add one thing to my earlier point. Here's the part about today's performance that Harrell read, right? Yes, we have been often enough to get results against the top teams in the league. But dog, generally, it does be a smash and grab, you know. It doesn't be hey, we come and play them for 90 minutes off the park, you know. It was hey, we get one and we scrape and everybody hard beating hard till 90 minutes up, and then we say, hey, we win. That's what it has been. Today wasn't that, you know. Today at 90-something minutes, the whole of Manchester United was going ole. Don't you watch some of the football we played today? Let me be real now. It had a play that show everybody here could remember on the corner when who's them fellas, boy? Knock that ball, bam, 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 bam. And every time in triangles, which is training ground football, that basic football that men was doing. And I was like, and men knock that ball till we knock it around them players straight back. I was like, where this was?
Now, but Chef, I was also talk about that as Cherky had make a comment. He's a Leon fan and Man United beat Leon and he can't wait to play.
He said that as he signed for City.
No, but he didn't get to play in the first though because he was injured now. So everybody brought back that post because he was playing today, right? And he is the player that they do the triangle around 2 times. It was he was the player that stand up in the middle and they knock it 3 times around him.
But he's the one that actually, I don't want to say gave away the football, but it was a poor free kick that led to the first goal as well too.
Yeah. But that they went back to the comment where he say can't wait to play us to kill us now, and then they show you the video where they knock that ball 3 times around, and the third time he just stand up, he said me spinning around at third time.
Was Foden injured?
No,
Foden start with Bernardo Silva in the midfield.
No, but he came off halftime.
Boy, you know how many men get hooked? Haaland get hooked.
He get hooked, right?
Haaland get hooked. Foden get hooked.
Because here's my saying that Dan Foden does torture, you know. Every single time Manchester play, Foden does do what he wants, you know. And I watching Foden that half, and I like, where from Foden, boy? That is his brother playing now, what? Because listen, they ain't give that every time he get that ball is jam. And the ball, he and Rodri couldn't make it, but I tell you, I don't think people understand fully how much Casemiro and Kobe walked today. You know?
I think Casemiro got man in the match. Casemiro was
he got man in the match.
Yeah,
that's not surprising. That's not surprising, to be honest.
Yeah. I just want to get Phil and welcome JP. Right. So I just want to get Phil and JP on this point, and then I will move on. So Phil, I don't know if you have anything to comment on.
I'll pass it over to JP for this one. So I'm good.
Well, let me just put the banner for JP. You know, we just comparing it to what Amorim would have said in terms of he need the players to fit his system. You know, go through.
Yeah, well, good night for us. I'm not here for long because I'm out since 7 this morning and I'll come back home. But because we win in this derby, I say I have to show my face on the
I hear that, buddy. I hear that.
I still come in and say something, and when I'm done, I will go my way and beat and things because I'm tired, right? But you see, Amorim had this negative where he started talking about the players and it was very clear how specialized his system had to be. And so to the point that the fans started buying to how we have to get this type of player and that type of player. And I remember we talking about it in terms of specialty players and the problems it could have for managers coming after if it don't work out. And I like how Carrick start with this kind of comment, and you had to play, in other words, play to your player's strengths. Simple as that. Everybody could have seen playing Bruno in our midfield too was one of the major reasons why our midfield was so skin open. One of the major reasons because Bruno was not disciplined enough, and you were taken away from the strengths of Bruno by asking him to stay deeper. Look at the performances from Bruno when he is playing further up the field. It's simple. And I think
Bruno was my man of the match today. Bruno was my man of the match today.
I find so. I remember telling Reem, I don't think I get to mention it on the pod, I remember telling Reem, Bruno doing his normal numbers from deeper to the detriment of the team. Bruno numbers were great as any other season to the detriment of the team because Bruno was the only one shining and the team not doing good because Bruno just doing what Bruno just do. So you can't restrict and play players where they're not strong. So that all Carrick said, play the team to the strengths. This is what is before you. And I think from very early on, this is what a lot of us here have been saying, and for myself, adapt to your team. You can't expect men to adapt to what you're trying to do and then get vexed when it's not working. And you're expecting that the board had to back you and bring this player for you and that player for you when you're not producing. But I don't want to harp on that because today was a great day. Honestly, I missed the first half. I see the last few. When I get to log into the match was when Bruno scored the offside goal. That's the first thing I see. And after that, the football I see from this team, and I tell people, this didn't feel like a manager bounce performance. This was an actual footballing performance. You saw football play. When man was defending, we defend compact. It didn't have no big spaces for people to just run through. So you saw where it was properly set up. I was worried about Maguire starting after so long. Being out. Watch Maguire performance today. Look, scores and them talk about Licha. Watch Licha. Where Haaland is. So Haaland's still somewhere deep inside Licha pocket. Can't come out yet. Pussy pocket him so deep today. He can't come out yet. Watch me. Performance from everybody. Dorgu. You're seeing the difference in Dorgu when he don't have to study to run the whole flank. He is not Antonio Valencia. Antonio Valencia is a 1 million player who could have played a whole flank by himself. Dorgu is not that player. You're seeing the difference. It has so many things today I identify in how this team played because the players were set up more comfortably. Kobe Mainoo is the biggest winner of Ruben Amorim leaving. And I will say it, thank God Amorim gone. Because anybody could come at me now, thank God he gone. Because Kobe Mainoo is not the type of player that you're supposed to allow to get sidelined and have the possibility of leaving this club to go somewhere else and ball out. And I just still see men talking about contract this and contract that. I don't give a shit about Kobe and the contract. Kobe playing football on the field for us and was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, one of the best midfielders for England when Kobe was on top. And men just forget that too fast because Amorim come with a nice talk and make people feel Kobe had to do this and Kobe had to do that. And Kobe competing with Bruno for the position. BS. Kobe is one of the biggest winners of this man losing his job. And that Kobe being one of the biggest winners is one of the biggest winners for Manchester United. And I hope people will see that. For all the men who I see want to post about Amorim this and Amorim that, and if Amorim didn't get this and Amorim get plenty. Amorim get real rope. Long rope for Maga goat, Amorim is a malnourished goat. He get real rope.
14 months ago.
I think we're getting carried away.
I like the strategy of people. They are rubbing off on your boy. I like to see the trouble your boy.
Nicole said something.
No. I'm saying, yeah. When they say, Gianna Gina, you know when they get, get your rope until they hang yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get rope till you hang yourself.
Yeah. And no, Christian, I'm not getting carried away. I'm not getting carried away until the performance. But
you say Kobe Mainoo is one of the best midfielders in the league and one of the best in England. So that is not true.
He was
one of the best.
He
no,
was.
He wasn't. He was not.
He
Whatever
was,
card,
big
he
man.
wasn't.
What are you talking about?
Yes, he was.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? When Kobe made us
Okay. Right now he
2
cannot start
seasons
over
ago.
Rice. He cannot start over Elliott.
Did
He's
you
not
not
one of the best.
hear what the man said? Listen, sometimes you need to listen, bro. The man said at the time, which we talked about last season, or when Kobe had break into the side, under 10 Kobe Mainoo was one of the best players in the league.
No, he wasn't. So how he didn't win young PFA? How he didn't? If he was, how he wasn't even in the PFA young players? And no, I'm being real. Let me be real. If he was, how he wasn't there?
But Christian, for that Euros in England midfield, you don't remember them talking about Kobe being the best midfielder for England in that tournament?
No, he was
You remember
good,
that?
but he was playing
No.
Rice.
No, not that he was good. You don't remember them saying, you don't remember everybody talking about Kobe being the best midfielder in our England team?
Nah, that's not true. That's not
What?
true. He wasn't.
What?
He wasn't.
Preston, we don't have cancel on this spot, right? But you get cancelled.
If he was, why he lost his spot so fast then?
What do you mean why he lost his spot so fast?
Because Amorim is an ass.
Yeah,
that is why he lost his spot.
If Amorim wasn't playing him, players they still get
y'all forget we forget that Kobe has had a lot of injuries.
He did have injuries
in his young career, and then when he come back from injury, his coaching changes and stuff. So Kobe, he hasn't played a long stretch enough to hit his potential. But when he was on and when he came out, he can't. Yeah, he was balling. The man went.
What I am saying,
went
I'm
straight
not saying
to
he's not good. He is good. He has potential. But to say he was one of the best in the Premier, but that is not true. All got carried out.
The man was hero squad.
He wasn't. No, mad.
Hey. So I am reading. I'm reading here that Kobe Mainoo was nominated for Premier League Young Player of the Season 2023-2024.
He was nominated. He was in the top 3.
Okay, but nominated.
All said he was the best.
The same point you now make about him being nominated. Look, Phil now come and say and call you out on that. So you was wrong.
No, chef. I said he was the best. One of the best.
You said he was one of the best.
One of the best.
He wasn't in the top 3. He was in the top 3.
Christian,
how you can be one of the best and not in the top 3?
You're not making sense.
But you could be one of the best. You could be one of the best players in the world. You could be one of the best young players in the world. Young players.
What is that carried out?
Around that time of young players, when Kobe Mainoo broke out, the young players that were talked about in the world were Kobe Mainoo, Lamine Yamal, Jude Bellingham at the time, and they had about 3 or 4 other players as well too from I think Real Madrid or whatever, right? Kobe Mainoo was in the talk of one of these players. Kobe Mainoo broke into the England team in his first season.
After like 8 months, after like 6 or 8 months,
right? But who England had back then? They didn't have anybody. They only had Rice.
No.
Who else had?
You don't back England?
Christian, stop.
You want England supporter. You don't back England. Don't try that. Don't try that. That man said the only person England had at that time was Rice, you know.
So who that color? You're going to color guy?
No, England had
Jordan Henderson.
They had Calvin Phillips. They had other men that was. Calvin Phillips.
Phillips didn't play in Euro. He did not play in Euro.
You sure?
Yes, he didn't play in Euro.
Yes,
When
he
he went,
did.
Go and check that.
No.
again.
Guys.
Hey, yo, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, Reed. Right.
So I guess we gotta just agree to disagree on this one, right?
Yeah, agree.
It's good that we have some different opinions. We may not all agree. We're not gonna try to convince.
Let me say one thing. Either way, we haven't seen Kobe play enough games consistently to have a bad opinion or a great opinion. I mean, the man.
Exactly.
Hold up. When you start off like he did, it's only really injury, and then not really,
Amorim.
Yeah, and Amorim. That's the two things that really slow him down. I mean, when he first came out, his injury. I mean, he was going to play earlier, at a younger age, and he got injured. I'm not sure you remember that. He was going to play.
Yes.
He played in the preseason, and he got injured. And after he came on, and he went straight to the England team. So with that kind of trajectory, I have my doubts about Kobe, but to say the man wasn't one of the best things, in the world football would be just, I don't know how you could not say that. We do need to see more, obviously, but you can't doubt the talent there.
And to add to Simeon, Arim, I know you're moving on, bro, but just to add to Simeon's point there, right? Hear how Amorim was on real shit now. When it come to the handling of Kobe Mino, right? Agreed. Kobe had his injury spells. And then when he come back, he might be in and out of the team because he really wasn't playing. Did Amorim give that same treatment to Mason Mount? Dog, that man basically play Mason Mount into form, That man give Mason Mount the opportunity to. You remember when Nico was the real Jones in Mason Mount because of how bad he was looking when he come here? Dog, Amorim play that man and give. Whether Mount was injured, Mount could have been injured 3 weeks, 4 weeks. As soon as Mount fit again, he gave him a little 20 minutes here. He gave him a little 20 minutes there. And then boom, you see Mount back into the team because he's showing that. And dog, that was the only thing we was asking with Kobe Mino, Dog, it had too much games that give him a little 15 minutes now. He now come back from injury. Give him a little time, let him play himself into now. You so stuck that in your way of thinking that before you bring on Kobe Mino, you go watch a centre back and bring him on. Boy, Amorim goes to it.
But Chef, the first game Mino start for the season was against Grimsby. We was lost in 2-0 in the first half. That was the first game he started.
That could be false.
That's good.
No. I'm not saying that to score before. I'm saying when Mount play, he play well, and that's why he continued to play. Mino first start was against Grimsby. It's not a big team, and we was losing 2-0. So
okay, cool.
Let the comment section that Reed is about to read take care of Kristen. We done. Let the comment section take care of Kristen.
All right.
So,
yeah. No, but I mean, light flow, right? But I mean, I guess what I'm just trying to say is, let me agree to disagree on this one, because I don't think Kristen can change his mind. Right? It makes sense.
Let the six of us agree to disagree with one person. Yeah.
All right. But it's good to have diverse opinions on the pod,
Of course.
So Jerome said, to be fair to Amorim, the mistake was by the board. You can't hire a man to do 3-for-3 without the players and expect instant success. Ashwood told them that and they fired him. But Amorim did admit so many times, Jerome, that he is adaptable there, but he just never adapted. So kind of...
He actually said that. Said that in one of his first press conferences.
Yeah. Amorim also young and so trusted in what brought him success. The board put in a structure, sporting director, and they didn't trust it. They confused, despite that he got us a good platform 96th, to now improve on a more familiar system for the players we have. I don't know if I understand that part, but Lions in here, I feel like there was plenty mixed messages by the board, and when they realize when they're not getting what they want, they switched up. Amorim was also very naive, all right? Jerome saying here, Amorim couldn't adapt, and that was his flaw, right? But the board shouldn't have hired him if they were not going to give him the players for his system. The box tops up top. Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Kurtzin here, who said 4-4-2 was dead, Carrick, is not about system and formation. We saw a 4-2-4, but we also saw where in moments we played where we saw 5 United players always in close proximity to each other. I saw tiki-taka football in United, and the City players in circles. I believe he would have told players to be themselves and express their football. Correct. Jerome said he agreed his inexperience, but the board was ultimately at fault, and they also inexperienced. All right.
Yep.
Fellas, is one game, let me take it game by game. We still ain't have a proper midfield. All right. Pep too stubborn. He didn't change the tactic today, just players. Amorim is like him. Give them all the players and they will create great teams. They don't adapt well when they don't have all the desired players, though. City spent 400 million in 2025, and that was crap. All right. But I think I don't think Amorim have the history of creating great teams. So I would be very, very careful to spend.
You have credit in the bank to be able to do that.
Right, Kurtzin, I think if those calls weren't offsides, we would have scored those and hit the post. It would have been a bigger loss for City. Yeah. Richard on the inside, thanks for joining, man. I feeling like we get in that Ole deja vu, yes. All right. Jeremy, remember we were sixth. We were in sixth despite underperforming. I don't think this team as a whole is better than fourth right now. We need a few more players, and this would be nice. All right, I think like Elliot Anderson from Forest, right?
From Forest.
I typed that one, that emoji. Today, I think, Jerome said here today, I think the quality in recruits like Mbeumo and Ahmad maturing showed. Definitely our best smash and grab, if you want to call it that. I don't think Chef says it's not smash and grab, and I agree with Chef on that.
It was not smash and grab. No way.
Today was all smash.
Yeah.
Today was not smash and grab.
It can be smash and grab when City didn't really.
Exactly.
They may lay a hand on you.
They may lay a hand on you.
So there was
they had more the ball, but that was all. They do nothing with the ball. They could have more position, but they might do much with it.
City was basically doing, well, we did to City what a lot of teams do to us. Set up a low block and try and basically say, but break us down. City was going side to side and back. It was so weird to see City doing that.
But I even want to push it further, Chef, and I don't want to just say that we're sitting in a low block, and I don't think it was a low block, we just
it wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
So Lions in High, they had Chilky spinning in that rondo. Yeah, it was a rondo, all right. Jerome saying Foden was just rubbish, so that's why he didn't play, right? And Lions saying he didn't realize Foden was playing, right? Gregory on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying we were literally doing one touch in front of Pep. Yeah, right. And Pep had this thing where he'll be spitting plenty now, so
yeah.
Ethan saying here, Carrick substitutions were spot on. Continue. Cunha. Was that burst of pace was what we needed to keep City at bay. Where they kept attacking and not go totally defensive to invite pressure. Correct. Rayad on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying first time seeing actual football in 14 months.
Longer than that, yes?
Yeah, longer than that. Well, Jerome saying here, the real truth is in between, fellas. You know, if Amorim didn't have that interview, he's still here. Metrics was good and we were 6th. If Amorim showed any flexibility, he's still here. All right. Kobe was battling with Jude and Rice, if I could remember. Southgate had a great problem in picking that middle. All right. Kurt Senior Christian, you're talking madness about Kobe. Right? Amorim blacklisted the man plus the injuries. The man was bossing the Euros when it break into that England team, when he break into the England team. Right? Asan saying here, Musiala name was calling as well. Serious heavy hitters name was calling at that time. Right? Dembe, Elliot Brent on the inside, good night, thanks for joining. Jalen Belmont on the inside, thanks for joining. He's saying Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, Kobe Mino, Adam Wharton.
Yep.
All right. Could say Christian, come on, let me keep it respectful now, man. Usually you does make sense, but you off without Kobe, right? And for the record podcasters, it's pronounced Kobe, not Kobe. I'm good.
You know, he was great. And along with that, say, good actually having a good night, you know, you was great. What good, you know?
Jeremy saying Kobe is great in a certain system. Same with Mount. He played Mount because Mount gave what Kobe couldn't, legs and pressing off the ball non-stop. That is the kind of center mid Amorim wanted for his system. Kobe isn't that. Again, the board made the real mistake. Wrong coach, wrong squad. All right.
Can I just answer to Jerome's point there?
Sure, go ahead.
The thing about it, Jerome, and I don't disagree with you. My point is that he respected Mason's Mount, not only potential, but ability to give him the time to not only heal, but the playing time to eventually come into his own as a Manchester United player. And that is what he was not doing for Kobe Mino. And that was not only my problem, you know, that's the whole thing, you know. This is not me saying, alone saying that, dog. Literally, every single person who supported Manchester United was wondering what the hell. People who don't like Manchester United, but is England supporters were saying, so watching EPL, what going on with Kobe Mino? Then teams are just waiting for Manchester to say, Mino for sale, you know. That's my point, you know.
I think it's at that point in time where they were saying, what's up to 11 clubs was interested in Kobe.
Yes,
imagine if Kobe go Napoli like McTominay. He'd have a start already, you know. He'd have a start already, you know. Because if McTominay could go and get on so in Italy, imagine what Kobe would have go there and do.
But even more than McTominay, you know what has hurt me? You see Mason Greenwood by?
Yeah, boy.
That's one. And I should have men who go say Greenwood wasn't good.
Apparently he might get called up to the England squad for the World Cup, but that's just rumor.
But he was supposed to be with Jamaica or something, so?
No, he get the confirmation to play for them, but he still want to play for England.
Yeah, he never went.
Riyadh saying here, Carrick went to a back three at the end and still look better than Amorim. All right. Then Brent saying here, I don't know why, but I was most upset when Casemiro didn't score. Yeah, boy, Casemiro do have some madness. I'm going to pay for the end because I remember Nico had messaged me, and it's the same thing, you know. We gain these chances, we creating them, and we're not paying them away, and we can get punished, you know, because the team's so fragile.
We just get punished for it.
No, but when you look at it,
so quickly, yeah.
No, when you look at it, the stats show that Man United create the most chances in the league and have the most shots at goal and the XG to score the most goals, but we is one of the worst finishing teams in it. Arsenal and Man City are below us and they score more goals. We finishing needs to improve plenty.
Yeah.
Because we just throw away a lot of chances.
Yeah. For us I had it out there, right?
Yeah, JP.
What's up, brother?
Yeah,
JP, message me tomorrow now. I don't talk to you about something.
All right, cool.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Lion saying he just wasn't on Kobe. He's talking about Amorim, right? He just wasn't on Kobe. Right?
That's all.
Yeah, Jeremy saying here, Amorim has given plenty youth their boost at Sporting, and here and here, but I think he felt he had to stamp authority, and that was the situation. Young boy can't wait. Give the old vets the bus. Right? I mean, Sporting and Man United is just chalk and cheese. The pressure different, the expectation different, everything under the microscope. So, I just don't think Amorim was ready for that step up. Lions in Hoyland getting a statue. I don't know about that. Then they saying here we basically play.
We love what that man, boy.
No, but Hoyland have 3 goals in the last 18 games or something. That's horrible on us. But because every time he scores for them, they go just bring it up because he's man. But Hoyland not really playing good there.
Exactly.
They not playing good there.
Exactly. We basically played a 2 today. What was the issue with Meno? Right? This is exactly because they were very compact. Everything was compact. And I always used to draw that reference with how Crystal Palace's play. They are 2 in midfield and they have 2 slow midfielders, Wharton and Hughes.
But you know what? They're always close together.
Exactly. So it's the compactness. Anyway, we ain't going back there, right? Can't agree with the Greenwood thing. He has quality, but that was never the issue. Let me not bring that up again. Right? Greenwood so hurtful, like, yeah, keep reliving. Dion on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Good night.
Hey, Dion. Good night, man.
Yeah, it was refreshing to see United ball, right?
Yeah.
We play our way with what we have, 1 game at a time with some consistency and some more clean sheets. Yeah, no doubt. So, guys, we just want to look, we're running out of time, right? So I just want to get some top performers today, and let me just talk on that. Then we want to touch on the Arsenal game and we go wrap it, right? So, Nico, some of your top performers today.
Today was a day I went on the app, to choose my man of the match, and it was tough, to be honest. I think it had some really solid performances today. I guess I'll start with the solid performance, and then I'll say who was my main. Right, I read my 2 main players today, Maguire and Martinez, real solid today. Kobe, Casemiro, amazing in midfield today. I think that's the best I've seen them played together. Bruno Fernandes, top class, right? Back in number 10 or back higher up the pitch, closer to the goal where he's supposed to be, right? I think top class as well. I think Dogu, real solid. Ahmad, I mean, I don't know. The whole team, other than Dalo play real shit, right? No,
Just play normal self.
And I feel that's what I should say. Everybody else play good and that's zoning to Dalo, right? Because it is atrocious by his performances, and let's can't wait till Mazzuari come back to this. And now I would just see, because we know we just talk about the biases, and we know the Portuguese connection, right? So I hope to see when Mazzuari come back, we're going to with Dalo on that right back position, because the intelligence of Mazzuari alone. Imagine a Mazzuari in that team today, how much better we would have been. So I think the even Cunha coming on, Mbeumo performance, I think was real stellar performances today. But overall, I'd give it to Bruno. Because I think Bruno meshed or linked the team real good today. I think his passing, he had 1 or 2 passes and I was off that, led to counter attacks. But I don't mind that when he's so effective, right, in his favored position, and the defense is so well drilled. Because today I saw a defense that know what I was doing. And I was like, wait now, this is the same Manchester United who I know, as I see a team break, I know, oh God, shot on goal coming. Right? Shot on goal, laments, just brace. Right? And I see men getting in, tackling, breaking up play, 3 and 4 men around City defenders. And I was like, Jet, these fellas know what they're doing. So again, this other performance went to Bruno Fernandes, but it could have been anybody between Casemiro, Kobe Meno, Bruno Fernandes, Even Harry Maguire, right? Being out so long and playing that performance as he did today could have been my main players today.
Before I move to Simeon, I just want to point out something about Bruno that I cannot ignore. You know, you have to give the man he props, right? It's had the Mbumo goal, right? When the break on that run.
I swear, the man is reading my mind, you know, because I was gonna mention that, you know, but
He had like
Go
99
through.
pace in there. He had
Go
like-
through.
that specific pass to Mbumo needs to be, I don't want to say analyzed, but as you mentioned, you got to give Jack his jacket, right? Because I think there were 3 options. There was Mbumo, Ahmad, and also Dorgu.
And Dorgu was coming free as a bird too.
No, a lot of people don't realize that both Dorgu and Ahmad had more of space to work with.
Yeah, but that's pray. I was still praying he didn't give it a dog, eh? I said, Bruno, please don't give it a dog. Please don't give it a dog.
I was screaming, not dog. I was saying that to the TV too. Even when I fight here, I was screaming, not dog.
But I think the smart pass obviously was Mbumo due to it being on his left foot. And just to take it a bit further, Mbumo hit it one time.
Yeah.
Instead of looking to control, from the time you control, that's the 2 city
Donnarumma was saving that if he control.
Exactly. From the time you controlled, as you mentioned, Chef, Donnarumma would at least look to steady himself, and then more blue shirts would be behind the ball as well too, right? But also, if he had passed to Ahmad, it would have been on Ahmad's weaker foot. Not saying that Ahmad would not have scored, but I would have rather laid off to Mbumo, and lo and behold, it went to the right person, and boom, 1-0. Right. So, but no, that pass to Mbumo, it was a 12. Yeah, that is a high IQ pass, and that is what I want to see more from Bruno Fernandes, right?
Yeah, it's a high IQ decision.
No, but
The pass was the easy thing. The decision was the high IQ.
I wasn't surprised because Bruno is that player could get it. Bruno is but why I was surprised with his pace, but you see the speed he ran at? Because he was in line with Dog when I'm running that with that ball, you know.
Yeah. Simeon, what you know?
No, I mean, like I said, Bruno was like a little kid in a candy shop or a playground. Bruno was just out there, just balling out there. I mean, that's a little bit of the Bruno we saw in his first few years here. Reminded you of those days where, we used to run free on counterattacks, and we had good finishers and good, so Bruno, he's a top class, world class performer at that position. We can't see it enough. We see it. All these shit we give him for all the midfield stuff and the petulance and stuff. That's real, but you can't deny his class in the attacking area. I think I question that Dorgu's starting where he started today, but the coach, I think the coach really had a good balance to the team. Dorgu scored his second goal, since he's been here. And I think the coach really, we talk about putting players in a position where they could be successful. I think, he really maximizing, the players that he has. I think Ahmad was Ahmad. I think he's comfortable in that spot. I think he could have done more, but he didn't have to do more. I feel like the team was running so well. I feel like the level of frustration you see in other games from players, you didn't see it today. Everyone had a chance to get a touch of the ball and move the ball. It was much more cohesive in the attacking area. So, who stand out? I mean, it's hard to see who stand out. I mean, it really, everybody kind of found their lane today. I mean, I think, Shaw on the left side he didn't really get beat too bad. Semenyo's first game for City didn't really do too much. And then Dog on the other side with, against this is mostly Dallo. Who else was helping them? Kobe and Ahmad sometimes. But I felt like everybody in the defensive area had help, who had support, especially in the second half. I think the real winner today was the manager, because the game plan he put together really, against Pep, really, it might be not only a simplistic or but it worked. It worked very, 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 very well. I would give him an 8 to a 9 as far as like that game plan, because it was so effective that we should have won, like you said, 5 or 6-0.
Yeah. Let me just get some comments real quick, right? So, Dion saying here, Melo is my player, Christian behavior. All right. Dion saying here, Lacey to play as a sub next week, bros. Let me see.
Who you're dropping off the squad?
Yeah, I don't know. No, well, I think Xerxes out for a little bit. All right. So I think, it's either Lacey or Fletcher. Yeah. All right. Lion saying here, everybody except Lamens, right? He had nothing to do. All right. Kurt saying here, that right side basically locked with the players we have. Shea Lacey would be saying thing, right? Ethan saying here, it's easier to pick the non-performer. Dallo for me. Something wrong with he. All right. Kurt saying here, my man of the match was Do. You're muted, Nico.
Yeah, no, I like that comment. Straight to the point. Yeah, beat around the bush, straight to the point. Something wrong with he.
Yeah. Could say here, my man of the match will be Dogu today. The guy, natural, is really a left winger, right? Even in the game when he play right wing, he does look sharp. All right. Could say here, I think if Sesko had played instead of Big Batty Brian, he would have scored. Would he have scored? Right. I think
I'm so uncomfortable with a man saying Big Batty Brian.
Yeah, boy.
Just leave that for that fella who does do that review after the game now, Jared. It's real uncomfortable for a big man to watch against big man and calling Big Batty Brian to same Bremona, brother, please.
I agree with Chef. I guess you're looking for alliteration now.
Embuemo's fine. Brian is fine. Say your number. Big Batty Brian, boy.
But I just want to make a comment on this Sesko thing. I think when you look at Carrick, he looking at game by game, what the game need. And I really think today perhaps the Sesko may not have suited. Sesko would have played exactly into the centre backs.
I agree with you there. 1000%.
Yeah, so playing having a more versatile number attacker work better for us, and it kind of executed the plan of the team better. But it will have games where I think we will see Sesko starting because he'll be better.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sesko against Arsenal, to be quite honest.
I think it might be the same thing like today. Jerome said here, Mbeumo did a real touch over the first tackle for the first goal. Yeah, that touch was quality. He's a good signing. Yeah. City centre backs would have had an easier time. Sesko doesn't press well, and I think he answered Kurt question there, right? Lamens didn't have to move much today, but hey, Dallo had one good moment with the block. Assist with Lamens. Other than that, Dallo was lal. Right? Right, so he's saying here we can do Arsenal the same thing, but it will be harder. Yeah, Arsenal's a hard team, but Arsenal, but the drop points today, so right. So Sesko being more useful versus teams that sit deep, right? That's why like slow block teams, right? So this one is for Chef Phil Christon, right? How will it feel about the Arsenal game? Does this game today give you all any positive feelings? And would there be any changes to your starting 11 against Arsenal?
Obviously, no negative feelings because 10 players performed well today, right? Will I go with the exact same starting lineup against Arsenal? Yes. Arsenal, similar to City, will have the ball more than us, but Arsenal is a bit more disciplined. There's a reason why they're at the top of the table, right?
Yep.
So they're a bit more disciplined. They're not going to try anything fancy, and they will come at us. City is one of those teams that they're patient with the football, but they wait till you lose focus, right? Arsenal are going to be at you from the get-go, right? So there are a few players in Arsenal that I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Gyökeres. This may come as a surprise, but I'm not worried about Bukayo Saka because the guy has not done anything for the guy has done nothing in 2025 and did nothing today either. So not worried about them too. But at the end of the day, you got to shut down the likes of Declan Rice, who isn't frightened to shoot from outside the box as well. He's a different player from Rodri. Rodri is looking to more dictate play. Declan Rice will dictate play and also look to get in on goal as well too, right? So, but at the end of the day, we got players that can hurt them as well too. I go in with the exact same starting lineup. I got to say, having Mbeumo up top had me a bit shocked, but it paid off today as well too, right? The link-up play was there as well, and he knows that City plays with a high line, right? Starting Benjamin Sesko versus the likes of Saliba and Gabriel. Sesko is a bit tame, a bit timid for me. He's not that physical, so the likes of Gabriel Saliba will have a field day with him as well. So I would definitely go back with Brian Mbeumo.
I couldn't find anything specific about Gabriel. Could you tell me more about what you're looking for?
One day.
Nah, that was by Alexa. I don't know how the hell Alexa.
I feel AI companion.
What was I talking about? Yeah, so Sesko is going to be.
Phil, I hope that's not the blow up doll name, Alexa. I hope so.
Look how the man exposing me, boy. Jesus Christ, boy. Sesko not gonna be that one, experienced, and two, physical against the likes of Gabriel and Saliba, right? So definitely got to take that into consideration. But I looking forward to the battle with regards to if Ahmad is on the right again versus the likes of and Timber. I'm going to look forward to that battle as well. The midfield battle is going to be important as well. I don't think Casemiro has the legs to keep up with the Arsenal midfielders, but you never know, right? I would love a win at Emirates, but I definitely think that I would take a draw, even if it's just a 0-0 draw. And you can see, I think you guys got to realize this here. Carrot wanted to attack today.
He did.
There was no, okay, let me just take off and one player and bring on the defender. Carrot wants to attack you, whoever is playing in front of him, right? So if we had that same mentality versus Arsenal, I don't see why we can't get a result there, right? So I'll put my prediction in terms of how we are going to, in terms of the result. I would love another 2-0 win versus Arsenal. A clean sheet at the Emirates would be one for social media. Let's put it that way. But anyway, I would take a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw versus Arsenal at the Emirates. So
I think Phil summed up that pretty well. If you have anything additional to contribute, feel free. But we're looking to wrap it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phil handled good, man.
I think that the experience side of the experience of Arsenal, the willingness to damn near anything from set pieces to foul, all kind of nasty
Backups.
stuff. Yeah.
Backups, yeah.
But I think I really think Ahmad and Bumo. I think you have to have Ahmad running at them. You have to give him something to think about. You can't have them camping on our foul penalty box. You have to give him something. As long as Carrick have attacking options out there that could threaten them, I think we have a chance. Not a great chance, but I think we have a puncher's chance, of doing something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it will be of benefit because all season we haven't seen the benefit from it. But we have a full week, and Arsenal have a midweek Champions League game against Inter. So I know a lot of energy, would be going into that game.
No team's so deep.
Yeah, it's a deep team. But they invested in both competitions. So I know Arteta will go all out for that Inter game and then Arsenal. So it'll stretch some of the players that he would want to play both games, and that could work in our favor. Could. It hasn't worked before, but let's see. We'll just get these last two comments and let's wrap it, guys. Kurt saying here, Arsenal defense is not as shaky as City, but if we control not giving them set piece chances like corners and free kicks close to 18, we will be fine. That's inevitable. Then we're going to find a way to get corner and all kind of stupidness, right?
Yeah. They will.
Jerome saying here, all in, all Lexa United.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, guys, I think that brings us to the end of the pod. And again, bait you all into predictions, All right, we just hoping again for this Arsenal. We could come here next week, Sunday, and talk about a top performance. We all here in the balance just waiting to see if there's consistency to this, if there's continuity to what we saw today. I think that is where we're all at. But we still want to enjoy the moment because we can't just ignore such a good performance on the premise that we've been here before. Right? I think that's been unfair to ourselves as a fan base. We have to recognize the level and quality of football that we experienced today. And if we want to watch it again, if we want to feel good about it, I think we're entitled to. I was on the 12th man during the week, and one of the guys was saying that Man United gonna get beat up from City bad.
A few moments later,
right? So and I know a lot of people there's a hurt when they see the sleeping giant, start to So I'll continue to talk, right? I'll continue to talk, and we go just be patient and wait. And hope that the board can make the right decisions, and Anyway, so guys, Phil, Rihanna Cherokee, where's that?
That's Ryan Cherokee that talking a bunch of crap.
I know, but where's the Rihanna thing?
Female thing, that's all.
Okay, all right.
Like you got to rerun the video from the beginning though.
Okay, yeah. So Phil, Chef, Nico, Simeon, Kristen, and JP, who was on for a little bit. Thanks for coming on the comments section. We do appreciate your comments and the interaction all the time. Guys, we want to try to get more people joining from the YouTube platform. I find, the next one fighting me real plenty. So if most of you all could start to join from the YouTube side and comment from there, that'll be ideal. So ideal. And like on the YouTube side, that'll be ideal. All right. So have a good night, everybody. See you on the next one.
Look, Michael Carrick's a championship manager, isn't he? He's a championship manager. He's never managed in the Premier League except for 3 games with United when he was the last interim manager. If you're scared of Man United right now, take away the fact it's a derby, then what are you scared of, really? It's Michael Carrick.